So I was thinking about my designer fragrances and which of them I'd recommend, which of them I would repurchase, which of them I just think are amazing. And then I came up with 5 that I find them all to have a similarity of being quite fresh and quite light. And it seems to be that those are the types of designer fragrances that I really like. And I think these are absolutely fantastic spring, summer type of fragrances that I have, and I would most definitely repurchase all of these, and I absolutely recommend every single one of these to everyone. Before I start, if you love fragrance content, you love recommendations, watching reviews, etc., then please hit the subscribe button. I will be coming to you guys with videos every single week, and you can't just be watching and not subscribing. So the first fragrance I want to start off with is Gris Dior from Dior. This is a fragrance that was on my list for years, and I got myself a little mini, and honestly, the best decision I ever made. I will definitely be getting myself a full bottle when I finish this one, but this fragrance is incredible. So when you smell it from the bottle, it smells quite sparkly. It reminds me a little bit of sparkling water, champagne, that sort of vibe. Maybe a little bit more on the sparkling water side because it doesn't smell like alcohol in any way. But it has that sparkly sort of smell from the bottle. But when you actually spray this on your skin, it doesn't really smell sparkly to me anymore. It smells quite green, almost like a forest. It's quite mossy. It's got patchouli. I'll list the notes in just a second because I've made a note in a notebook because I don't want to forget anything. But this fragrance is a very green, but not green in a like bright grass type of green. This is like a deep, woody, in the forest. And then you've got this rose in there that just makes it so pretty. And I think the rose develops as you wear this fragrance. So at first it is like, oh, this is quite like forest-like. But the rose develops so beautifully. And there's something about rose that in the hot weather on the skin, it just becomes like sweet and beautiful. And I just absolutely adore it. I love rose that actually smells like, like the flower and hasn't been, candied too much or made too jammy. I love a rose that just smells really floral and where the fragrance just allows the rose to develop beautifully on the skin. And I think this is one of those. So I think in the summer or warm sort of spring weather, this would be absolutely beautiful because I think it is a very unisex fragrance, but something about the way that the rose develops reminds me of like a sundress in the summer, having a picnic, you're amongst the trees, but you still smell like rosy, floral, just beautiful. That's what this fragrance reminds me of. So the notes, you've got oak moss, rose, patchouli, bergamot, amber, cedar, and sandalwood. And I think you do get a sense of all of these notes. Oak moss, patchouli, like it's got this sort of dark, I don't know if dark is the right word, but it's not a bright type of green. It's more of a dark kind of green that really does remind me of a forest. And then you've got a bit of bergamot, which keeps this nice and fresh because it is a light, fresh type of fragrance. You've got the beautiful rose in there, and then you've got some other woods, cedar, sandalwood. It is a woody, green rose fragrance. That's how I describe it. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I haven't had this in my collection for that long, so I am very excited to wear this in the summer with my sundress and hopefully go on a picnic. But yeah, this fragrance is absolutely incredible. I'd recommend this to men and to women. I think, I'm a rose lover, so I just think if you love rose, you can't really go wrong with this. As long as you can stomach a bit of green. There's patchouli in here, but it's not like dirty, gritty patchouli. It's just beautiful. It's a really light, fresh fragrance with that sort of green forest-like base that, takes it away from just being a super basic, light, fresh floral fragrance. And I think it's absolutely incredible. And I would highly recommend, especially for spring, summer weather. So I've been thinking about the second fragrance on this list, and this fragrance has a special place in my heart. One day I will do like a top 5. Top 10 would be difficult because I am really picky when it comes to my favourites. Because at the moment I have like top 4, and I'm still trying to see which fragrance is in my top 5. But my top 4 have been my top 4 for years. And this is definitely in my top 4. One day I'll do a video and we'll talk about exactly where this is in my top 4. But this is Florabotanica, and this fragrance, my goodness, this is my favourite on this list, by the way. This is my 3rd bottle. I think my first bottle was a smaller one, 50ml. And this obviously, well, not obviously, but this has been discontinued, which is really heartbreaking for me, because I just remember when I first smelt this, right at the beginning of my fragrance journey, or not fragrance journey, should I say developing a bigger fragrance collection journey. And I just couldn't believe what I was smelling. I couldn't believe it. This was in lockdown. I was still working and I got this delivered to work, and I smelled it and I was just like, I've never smelled anything like this. I find this a unique fragrance. Like, there's loads of rose fragrances, fresh. Oh dear. Dropped my lid. There's loads of fresh, light rose fragrances on the market, but I don't think there's any that smells like this. I haven't smelled any that smell like this. This is the most gorgeous green rose fragrance I've ever smelled in my life. So it's very fresh. It's minty. It's got mint at the top. It's very minty. It's got a cool air, you know, like, I don't even know where you'd find cool air right now. I can't think off the top of my head. But if you know, like, you're in the heat and then you just get some cool air on you, that's what this fragrance has. It's absolutely beautiful. Again, similar to Gris Dior in that the rose really does smell, you know, like straight from the garden, and it really develops beautifully on the skin in the heat. In the summer, I wear this a lot. Obviously not nowadays because I need to preserve what I have. But this was something years ago. In the summer, I was wearing this like every day. For some reason, this was the only thing that was, you know, quenching my thirst in the super, super high heat. But this fragrance, wow. In the top, you've got mint. In the middle, you've got rose, carnation, and cannabis. And then in the base, you've got vetiver and amber. So this fragrance is really, really green. It opens a lot greener than it develops. It does develop to be like a really pretty rose fragrance to me. The rose, you know, has a slight sweetness, but it opens up really green, minty. It stays green throughout the fragrance, but my goodness, how the rose develops. It's so pretty, so beautiful, so fresh. You would love this in the hot weather, even maybe to wear to the gym, something like that. I just think it's an incredible fragrance. It is really dear to my heart because I love rose, but I think out of all the rose fragrances I've ever smelled, this is my favorite rose. Like, the rose in this is exactly what I want to smell when I smell rose. Yeah, this fragrance is amazing. I say it leans a bit feminine, but I think, you know, a guy could definitely pull this off, especially because it's quite green, minty. There's nothing that screams super feminine, but I do find that, you know, the rose has got a little bit of sweetness going on. I think it would be really pretty. I think you could wear this with anything, literally like white t-shirt, jeans, a dress, a sundress, picnic. It still has similar vibes to Gris Dior. I think like you would wear them on similar occasions, and I just think this fragrance this fragrance is incredible. I tried to get myself like a dupe, right? Because I said, okay, I have this bottle, it's finishing, and I don't know what I'm gonna do. So I found this website, I can't even remember it right now, that has dupes. I don't really buy dupes nowadays, but I did buy one for this fragrance. It was okay. I finished it now. It was okay, but I don't know if I'm going to buy it again because it doesn't really have the minty coolness that I like this fragrance for. Like in the summer, that minty coolness is so refreshing that, I don't know, there's just no other fragrance that does this. So yeah, really sad about this one. I almost feel like it's a bit of a shame recommending this because it's discontinued, but you know, there are people that are still selling this at a really high price, and I might be one of those people that buys one because I don't know, the thought of not having this makes me literally want to cry. I kind of just have to block it out and remind myself that there's other fragrances, it's okay. But in my heart of hearts, if I really pause and think about it, I'm Googling, okay, what fragrance smells like Florabotanica? And I don't know. Yeah, I'm going through it, guys. This fragrance means a lot to me, and I don't spray this much anymore because, I mean, look at it. There's not a lot left, and yeah, I'll be really distraught. If you can get your hands on it, or if you're intrigued, you're gonna have to pay quite a bit, and then if not, I guess you just have to ignore this recommendation. So the third designer fragrance that I would repurchase and recommend is Light Blue by Dolce & Gabbana. This is the eau de toilette that I have. It's really nearly finished. I need to buy a new one. Excuse my voice, by the way, guys, because I've been sick for quite a while, and I've just really tried to push through and record and try to make myself feel better, but my voice doesn't sound the greatest. Sorry about that. But yeah, Light Blue, absolutely incredible. I think, I wouldn't say this is underrated, but I think people may skip over how amazing this is as a fresh scent. Like, there aren't a lot of fresh scents that smell better than this one. I don't know, like, I wouldn't change anything about this fragrance. I just think it is perfect. Perfect for the hot weather. Yeah. Absolutely incredible fragrance. I think the notes are quite surprising because it sounds like there's a lot of different notes going on, but when you smell it, it's just a really fresh, citrus, slightly musky fragrance, like really citrusy, but in a really nice way. It doesn't smell like cleaning products at all, and it's, you know, it's a bit fruity, it's bright, really fresh, really refreshing, perfect for the summer. So the notes are, at the top, there's Sicilian lemon, apple, cedar, and bellflower. Then in the middle, you've got bamboo, jasmine, and white rose. And then in the base, you've got cedar, musk, and amber. Now, I'm not surprised that there's rose and jasmine in here because I've mentioned this in previous videos. That rose and jasmine combination, to me, is just second to none. Like, it just makes a fragrance just smell so wonderful. I don't know, rose and jasmine together is incredible. And you know, when I smelled this, I didn't think, oh, this is a floral fragrance. It's not, but I'm not surprised that rose and jasmine is in this because it just smells so, I don't know if pretty is the right word, but it's gorgeous. It really, really is gorgeous. And I just think, like, how could you not like this? I don't think there's anyone that wouldn't like this. I think maybe if you're really sensitive to citrus and you just find that, whoa, like everything that has citrus smells like cleaning products to you, then maybe you wouldn't like this. But other than that, it's impossible to dislike Light Blue. Light Blue is just for everyone, for men, women, everyone. It's just incredible. I will definitely be buying another bottle. I will most likely be buying a bigger bottle than this one. This is a 50 ml, because it's the kind of fragrance that you carry with you. You respray. It's not long lasting, but it is perfect for the summer. So yeah, I think everyone should have this. Everyone needs this in their collection. Go buy it, it's not expensive. So the next designer fragrance on this list is one that I've spoken about already, and it is Attrape-Rêves from Louis Vuitton. So this fragrance is probably the least fresh in this list, but it is still fresh, bright, lovely, fruity floral, sheepler type of fragrance. It's got patchouli in the base, but there's this cacao note that makes it sweet, that makes it a little bit more gourmand than a typical fresh fragrance. I think it's really pretty, beautiful, classy, elegant. This would be lovely to wear with a dress. I think a lot of these fragrances would be lovely with a sundress. I think maybe spring more so than summer, just because the sweetness from that cacao, you know, it really is quite prominent. Like, it's a sweet fragrance. It's not as light and fresh as the others, but yeah, perfect for spring. Absolutely perfect for spring. Very feminine, I think. I mean, I think anyone could wear it, but I think it is a very feminine fragrance. And yeah, something that I find myself wearing a lot. Like when I wear it the next day and the day after and the day after. So I think this would be fantastic women's fragrance for the spring, possibly the summer, and also maybe that September time, like after summer, before we go into our proper autumn. This would be fantastic. I would definitely repurchase this fragrance. In the top notes, we've got lychee, ginger, and bergamot. And in the middle, we've got peony, Turkish rose, cacao. And in the base, we've just got patchouli. So again, it is a beautiful floral fragrance with that sweet cacao. Makes it a little bit sexier. Then you've got that patchouli in the base that I think mixed with the cacao doesn't take this into that sort of dirty, gritty type of patchouli. But it stays light, it stays sweet, it stays feminine. The lychee and bergamot in the top, I think, give this fragrance a brightness. Like when you smell it, it's like, oh, that's bright and lovely and springtime-ish. But yeah, I think this is a really good fragrance. I definitely repurchase a designer fragrance that doesn't feel like a designer fragrance, you know? And the last designer fragrance that I would repurchase, recommend, etc. is Chance or Tendre by Chanel. I think this fragrance is incredible. I've spoken about this in a previous video. It honestly just smells like skipping in the meadows with the love of your life. It smells like romance, happiness, good times. It definitely smells like spring. It smells bright. It's got that lovely rose and jasmine combo in the middle, which I love. It's got musk in the base, and in the top you've got quince and grapefruit. So it's a very bright, fruity, floral, light fragrance. You know, you've only got musk in the base. There's nothing heavy in there. There's no patchouli or anything like that. It's just fresh, light, pretty, beautiful, rosy, jasmine. Like, you know, if you want to smell pretty, this is the fragrance, like, you know. Yeah, absolutely gorgeous, extremely feminine, this one. And yeah, something that I will always keep in my collection, something that I think, you know, if you like really feminine fragrances, why not have this in your collection? You can throw this on to go to work. Even if it's not spring or summer, you can throw this on to go to work. But especially spring and summer, this could be a wonderful signature scent. Wear this every single day. You can't go wrong. So those are my designer recommendations for a fresh fragrance. All of these I think would be appropriate to wear in warmer weather, wearing a dress that's really flowy and lovely. I think these are fantastic for that sort of scenario. If you like these recommendations, then do hit that subscribe button. Let's see if we can get to 100 subscribers. I would absolutely love that. And I would love to talk to you in the comments. Leave a comment, let me know what you think, and I'll see you in my next video.